The aftermath of the devastating tornado has left Fairmont Crest in absolute ruins, but the physical destruction of the town is nothing compared to the emotional wreckage happening inside the walls of Garland Memorial Hospital. I am literally on the edge of my seat, biting my nails, because the situation with Ava Thomas is the definition of a ticking clock. As we all know from the latest jaw-dropping episodes, Eva is fighting for her life. She was found unconscious in that dark, terrifying stairwell, bleeding from the mouth with Kat Richardson crying over her. The diagnosis? Severe internal bleeding and a damaged liver. If she doesn't get a living donor transplant immediately, she is going to die. Let that sink in for a second. The stakes have never been higher, and the desperation in that hospital waiting room is palpable. Now, in a medical crisis like this, the first instinct is always to look at blood relatives. We saw the frantic rush to get everyone tested. Ted Richardson stepped up, but he was ruled out. Andre Richardson wanted to help, but his current medication makes him ineligible. Kat is terrified and running away from the pressure after Martin cruelly called her Princess Cat. But here's where the story gets incredibly beautiful and profoundly complicated. In the midst of this terrifying life or death emergency, it isn't just the blood relatives who are throwing their hats into the ring. People are stepping up out of pure love and humanity, and that is exactly what makes soap operas so incredibly compelling. Can you believe that Smitty, good old reliable Smitty, immediately registered to get tested the moment he heard the devastating news about Eva? Even though he had to be reminded of his own ineligibility, the sheer fact that he was willing to lay down on an operating table for a girl who isn't even his blood speaks volumes about the kind of community they have built. But the real emotional anchor of this storyline, the person who is absolutely shattering my heart right now, is Izaiah Hawthorne. Izaiah is watching the love of his life slowly slip away on a ventilator. He is standing there, helpless, watching her fight for every breath, and he is doing the only thing a man in love can do. He is offering a piece of his own body to save hers. Let's be real for a second. The love between Izaiah and Eva has been tested time and time again, but this is the ultimate sacrifice. While liver donations usually depend heavily on blood compatibility, Izaiah is holding on to that desperate, blinding hope that he might just be the miracle match Eva needs. He is praying, he is crying, and he is completely willing to risk his own life to pull her back from the brink. I have to say, I am completely rooting for Izaiah here. He is proving that family isn't just about the blood in your veins. It is about who you are willing to bleed for. But while Izaiah is acting out of pure, selfless love, we have to talk about the elephant in the room. We have to talk about Leslie Thomas. Oh, Leslie. If there is one character who consistently boils my blood, it is her. She is usually so toxic, so entitled, and so incredibly manipulative. But seeing her completely and utterly broken outside those operating room doors, it is jarring. I have never, in the history of this show, seen Leslie this weak, this vulnerable, and this completely stripped of her armor. She is a mother watching her child die, and she is entirely powerless to stop it. When the doctor told Leslie she wasn't a match, my heart actually ached for her, and trust me, I never thought I would say that. She collapsed. She prayed with Izaiah. She wept bitterly. But as a longtime viewer, I have to ask the hard questions. Is Leslie finally feeling the crushing weight of her past sins? Is she experiencing a profound moment of karma? She has committed so many unconscionable acts, treated people like garbage, and actively sabotaged the very people who are now desperately trying to save her daughter. Does she feel remorse for all the bridges she burned? Or is this just a temporary moment of weakness before the old, vicious Leslie returns? This brings us to the most explosive theory of the week, and it involves a character who is not going to take this situation lightly, Darlene Hawthorne. Let's rewind the tape, shall we? Darlene and Leslie have a history that is toxic, bitter, and downright explosive. Do we remember the police station confrontation? Leslie literally threatened Darlene right in front of Detective Malone, warning her to treat Eva well. Do we remember Jacob's commendation ceremony? Leslie crashed it as Eva's +1 and caused a massive scene, completely embarrassing Eva and infuriating Darlene. Darlene has every single right to despise Leslie Thomas with every fiber of her being. So, what on earth is going to happen if Izaiah's test results come back and he is the 1 in a million match for Eva? You know, and I know that Darlene is going to hit the absolute roof. Imagine the psychological torment for Darlene. Her precious son, her flesh and blood, is volunteering to undergo a major, life-threatening surgery to save the daughter of the woman she hates most in this world. Will Darlene's blinding rage toward Leslie overshadow her compassion for a dying girl? I can already see the hospital hallway showdown, and it is going to be television gold. I strongly believe that Darlene is going to fiercely object. She is a protective mother bear, and she is going to look at Izaiah and say, "You are not risking your life, your future, and your health for the daughter of that vile woman." And honestly, from a mother's perspective, I completely understand her fear. Surgery is dangerous. Complications happen. Why should her son pay the physical price for Leslie's family crisis? But this is where the dynamic between Darlene and Leslie is going to ignite into a massive inferno. If Darlene tries to block Izaiah from donating, how is Leslie going to react? This is the million-dollar question, folks. Part of me desperately wants to see Leslie fall to her knees. I want to see this arrogant, manipulative woman completely humbled, sobbing at Darlene's feet, begging her to let Izaiah save her little girl. It would be the ultimate poetic justice. Leslie, who has always thought she was better than everyone else, forced to grovel to the woman she has continuously disrespected. It would be a master class in character development. But here's the kicker. I don't think that is going to happen. Let's not kid ourselves. This is Leslie Thomas we are talking about. She doesn't behave like a normal, rational human being. My personal theory, and I think many of you will agree with me, is that Leslie is going to default to her signature shameless audacity. Instead of begging, I fully expect Leslie to lash out with vicious entitlement. I can totally hear her screaming at Darlene in that hospital corridor. Izaiah is a grown man. You have absolutely no right to make this decision for him. If he wants to save Eva, you need to back off and shut your mouth. Can you imagine the sheer disrespect? It would be absolutely infuriating, but it fits her character perfectly. Leslie does not know how to be gracious. She only knows how to demand and manipulate. And honestly, it will be incredibly entertaining to watch Darlene get pushed to the absolute brink by Leslie's shamelessness. Darlene is not a woman who backs down easily. And if Leslie tries to pull rank on her regarding her own son, we might just see a physical altercation right there in the waiting room. However, amidst all this bitter feuding and maternal warfare, we have to look at the broader picture. Izaiah is not alone in this. Even if Darlene screams, cries, and threatens to disown him, the rest of the Hawthorne family and their extended circle are likely going to rally behind him. Why? Because at the end of the day, this is a profound humanitarian act. A young, vibrant girl is lying on a ventilator, bleeding out internally. You don't just let someone die because your mothers hate each other. That is the kind of tragedy that haunts a family for generations. I believe the characters like Naomi and Jacob, despite their own massive traumas right now, will ultimately support Izaiah's decision. They know what it means to face death. They know the value of a second chance. And deep down, I think Darlene knows it too. She might fight it tooth and nail initially. She might hurl every insult in the book at Leslie. But when she looks into Izaiah's eyes and sees the pure, unadulterated love he has for Ava, I think Darlene will eventually have to cave. She won't do it for Leslie. She will never forgive Leslie, but she will do it because she raised a son who is a hero, and she cannot stand in the way of him saving a life. The tension right now is absolutely suffocating. Every time that heart monitor beeps, we are reminded that Eva's time is slipping through their fingers. The writers have brilliantly backed these characters into a corner where all their past grievances, all their petty feuds, and all their toxic traits are being violently dragged into the light by a single, terrifying medical emergency. Will Izaiah be the match? Will Darlene declare war? Will Leslie finally learn some humility, or will she remain the villain we love to hate? I am so incredibly invested in this storyline, and I know you guys are too. The emotional payoff of this liver transplant saga is going to be monumental, and it is going to permanently alter the dynamics of the Hawthorne, Thomas, and Richardson families forever. What do you guys think? Drop your theories in the comments below. Do you think Leslie will beg, or will she bite? Do you think Isaiah is the match, or is there another plot twist waiting for us? Let's debate, let's theorize, and let's keep our fingers crossed for Eva. Until next time, stay dramatic.